That's the secret, people. You just need to believe. Yeah, simple as that. We all know what happens when we don't believe. So try believing. Most people, they don't see enough value in their own imagination and their own sense of self-worth. They have to put their beliefs in other people, and then we get the projected iconic expressions of the cult of personality, and we personify meanings through the relation. Demonic, mnemonic, memology warfare is what we see right now playing out. World War II never ended, it never even began. It was just part of the devolution of communal think, mutating into something new, making room through sacrificing the purity for technology. Ideology, utopian dream, memology. We can see, Hulkamania is running wild now in this world. We can see all these iconic leaders rising up, joining forces against the evil. It's tragic comedy, which is better than just tragedy. Alright, let's look at the chart real quick. This is the chart of the moment right here, right now. As you can see, Pluto is on the MC. Let me do something here. Bear with me. Shrink. There we go. Get my beautiful mug out of the way. Alright. Birds are in full agreement. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, now as you can see, symbology. Sacrifice what you think you know to learn something new, and then you kill what isn't alive and you go with the flow. That's how I roll. It's a good method to employ in the world that doesn't make sense. So Pluto, transmutation, the soul's evolutionary intention, or so we feel at this moment. It's probably a lot more. To most, a lot less. But as I mentioned, belief is where life lives. You got to find the meanings to put that into action. So we have these in conjunctions with Pluto here. In conjunction, junction here. So unconscious being made conscious through the ritual of your being, your happening. The service to yourself and how you relate that to the world. If you don't see much value in yourself, you may end up mopping floors in a prison. If you put too much value in yourself, you may be serving evil ones in the White House or wherever else in this world, thinking that you're doing good for the world, etc. Either way, you're going to learn what the authority is. So right here we see this Pluto sextiling Venus, Mercury, Fortune, the Sun, Neptune, North Node, soon to be Saturn. Where does this energy square into the early degrees of Taurus here? This is the nodal axis for Chiron. Chiron's nodes are at 2 to 3 degrees Taurus, Scorpio. Scorpio, the modern ruler of, or Pluto, the modern ruler of Scorpio. This Mercury retrograde, I can't, my mind is too fast for the linguistics. Alright, so utilizing this energy, embodying the future here now through the present sense of self and the foundation of your own value, your relation to self. It's how you show up in relation with anything else in reality. When you've reduced the meaning of yourself to a role, to an obligation, to a cog in the machine, then you're going to care a lot about what's happening in this cult of personality as it goes through transformation. You're going to have to hold the shadows and the light of whatever that is. You'll be on the battlefields fighting for the truth. Knowing all along, understanding you're sacrificing the truth for what you feel to be right because you can't find any other icon to put that force into because you haven't cleared enough space within yourself. The darkness is too dark. So how do we bring that into being? Alright, so let's think of macro to micro, Pluto down into Mars. The physical form, manifest expression of what that transformation is. Oftentimes we learn through our passion. It prompts us to do idiotic things sometimes. It prompts us to act before thinking. It allows us to embrace the ignorance of what it is driving us so that we can recognize it. As a result, and what time Pluto comes back and shows you that you are not the experience. You are more than what you thought the result was because it continued on. You kept growing, you kept changing, you kept evolving, transmuting. So Mars in the shadow path, 21 degrees here of Cancer. Now, Aquarius in conjunction junction is beginning in Cancer. This is where the pore, the starlight hits the river. Okay. The starlight hits the river and you are ignited with a sense of knowing. You don't know the result. You don't know where it's going. You just know what you feel, and it either drives you or you drive it, and you either drive it down or you let it out. So this unconscious tension brings you into relation with the purity of your expression. You know, a lot of people, they go to college, they get degrees, they do all this thing, these things, they make the right connections, they learn the right technologies or skills, or they memorize the right belief systems, and then they're faced with, okay, is this worthy of my expression? It's that Leo to Aquarius thing here. How do I contribute my purity into the greater picture, into the community, into my cult of personality? When you hit your Uranian opposition, that's when you're like, no, this isn't who I am. This is all programming, this is all limitations of yesterday's expectations. So you have to embrace this service to self thing. And that's that Virgo to Aquarius stuff. Am I really contributing to the greater picture, to this world, by falling into the cult of personality, into the entrainment of what I limited myself to? Or can I do better for myself, and by doing that, do better for others? Allow the purity of my expression to shine through in a service to this existence, which is a Kali energy, creation, destruction, it's change, transformation. In the process of bringing this Plutonic pole into your own motion, your own spirit flowing with what drives you, which honors you, which you can honor, you begin to transform. You begin to ignite the Uranian energies, the higher frequencies of change. The first Nen, the eternal flux, the pulse of reality. And this is where Mercury is found to connect through a more broad spectrum expression of just this replicated design, where you can channel the gods and bring in new blood, new spirit, new life into reality through your deeds, your living. Mercury is the ruler of the South Node here. Mercury sextiling Pluto. Mercury is still retrograde. We are coming to grips with our own compromises, this Venus stuff, you know. We have to compromise the purity because we don't know what it is, but we know what makes shit work. We know how to go along to get along. We know when we do that, when it's denying another by denying yourself. You have to show who you truly are and allow the other person to see that so that they can be free themselves. And you can step that up to scale, family, community, your work, the world itself, the memes of the warfare. Bringing heaven to earth through embodying the fool's journey with a sense of not denying the ignorance but empowering through being in a student mind. Okay, this is how you heal spiritual wounds. There are many spiritual diseases in this world. It's not a vast conspiracy. If you become stagnant, the demons rise. And they rise to help you, to show you that you're not moving, you're not living, you're not transmuting, you're not growing. And when you deny it, that's you. It's no one else. You know, we've all been through shit in this world. You know, this ain't some virtuistic, hierarchical system of you're more of a victim than me. It's like, well, what the fuck do you do with it? If you're gonna be a warrior in this world, be one for yourself. If you're gonna be a healer, be one for yourself. You gotta bring that truth of your own expression into the world, not knowing what it will do, where it will lead you, how it will be received. You know what deception does for you. It just prolongs old loops. You don't need to eat other people's meals when they can't finish it. Let them hold their own karmas. You do better for them by doing better for you. And if they can't understand it, that's their shit to hold. You don't need to worry about it. The world wants us to lock ourselves up, lock ourselves down through fear, through anger, through all the lower emotional frequencies, because that's where the stagnation is. You know, the utopian dream is a dream. The world isn't meant to be perfect. The world is meant to be alive. That's chaos, that's nature. So be the chaos magician of your own life. You don't need to do war or battle with anyone else, anything else. Be in your truth, and if war finds you, you find it in the most authentic, most powerful expression you can be. So these were just some words based off the chart right here, right now. If you're interested in finding language for yourself, getting into Hermetic astrology, Hermetic living, an API for all systems. And let me know. My contact information is in the description below. Until then, thanks for watching, listening, being. Take care.